Terrorist attack in the Pulse nightclub was just the first wave on American shores. I'll tell you a little bit about where I come from. In London, it's a city I don't really recognize anymore, mainly because you walk down the streets and every other woman seems to be dressed like this. Not looking quite so attractive, obviously, but it's a very worrisome thing to me. What's at stake here is nothing less than the future of Western civilization. Everywhere in America you can see the signs that this is beginning to happen. Some of you will be aware that I've been banned at a number of schools in the UK. They're not interested in having me talk about conservatism, but they're happy to have a preacher named Hamza Sodagar. And Hamza Sodagar, I believe we have a picture of him, advocates beheading homosexuals. Beheading gays is perfectly fine, but what I've said on the stage to you this evening is beyond the pale. Remember that in Orlando, Omar Mateen went to a mosque in north, about 45 minutes north, somewhere called Stanford, I think. A guy there used to speak there, said that the compassionate thing to do in America was to kill all gays. This is happening in Orlando, in Florida. Anyway, this guy, amazingly, didn't travel to the UK from Saudi Arabia. He came from Kentucky. Not you would think, a hotbed of Islamic radicalism. But it just goes to show that this is everywhere. Now, some gays and lesbians in the US consider Christians and right-wingers to be their enemies. Well, I don't. I think Christians and conservatives are our great hope. I think Christians and conservatives are the best thing about this country. The queers who think that are fucking idiots. To illustrate what I mean, here are some things that Christians don't like very much about gays. They don't want gay lifestyles shoved down the... Sorry, excuse the phrasing. Forgive me. They don't want to be forced to support gay marriage, perfectly reasonable in my view. They don't want to be forced to bake gay wedding cakes, and they want to go to Disney World without waiting in line behind two leather boys with twinks on dog leashes, in case you can't read that at the back. All eminently reasonable, perfectly supportable, unobjectionable positions. Here are some things that Muslims think about homosexuals. Well, they don't really like us being public, they don't like us speaking, they don't like us breathing, they don't really like us existing. I think it's clear who the real bad guys are in this trifecta, and I encourage you to consider the ramifications of having somebody in the White House who not only takes tens of millions of dollars from Saudi Arabia, with all of the oppression of women and murder of homosexuals that goes on there, but who endlessly mollycoddles and panders to Islam, who's rug-munching number 2, Huma Abedin. Innumerable links to very deeply unpleasant Islamist people and material. Look into her. You can look on Breitbart. We've done a lot of reporting about this woman.